What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Firing from the hip today because, like I said in the description, normally I would go at 6, but I got some stuff to do tonight. So, we're coming on a little bit early. Hopefully still get our 2 hours in, and we'll see. If not, maybe we'll show up surprise later on tonight. Who knows? Okay, audio sounds good. Let's get going right away. So, what are we doing today? Well, we have returned to the deep desert. Specifically, we're going after spice and spicy plastanium dust. One of the issues we have in Haga, you can get spice blooms, just the small ones, but you can get enough, especially if you keep at it. The real hauls are out in the deep desert, but the plastanium dust only comes from the deep desert, only from the testing stations and the shipwrecks. You can sometimes buy it at your auction house, but it's probably going to be very, very pricey, and it's not a guarantee. So we have to go get our own. I gotta get caught up here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. So, this changes the way we kind of play. Normally what we do is, we got our still suit, we go out there, we run around the desert, we do our thing, getting away from worms and all that stuff. However, when we go into the deep desert, we kind of do change the way we do things. And how do we do that? Well, let's talk about this. First off, still suit ain't going to help us that much out there. We are fighting NPCs, and we're not going to the PvP section, so we don't have to worry about other players, but we do have to worry about some pretty tough NPCs. A lot of the things that we have in Haga Basin will die the first time we shoot them. Not so out in the deep desert, so it causes a couple changes. And what are those changes? Let's go over them right now. First off, we're going to drop the still suit, and we are going with a set of scout armor. Now, I don't quite like running around in the heavy armor sets. To be honest, it's I rely more on mobility than I do on just bulk tanking. So I chose, and especially since we're going to be doing, NPCs who are kiteable, they're predictable. I go with the scout armor. Still provides enough protection, still keeps me alive, but doesn't limit my movements. So that's the first change. We did put some different swatches on, customized it a little so we look all fancy. It's the same chest look as our still suit has, but nope, this is definitely so. We got the scout armor. Let's look at the differences on that. And the helmet here. This armor value is 167, where our armor value here is 78. So it's over twice as resilient to damage, and also has like the mitigations and heat protection. We don't really care. Now that stamina dash cost, anytime you do a dash, it costs a little bit more. Heavy armor has a bit more drastic reduction in that, which is why I don't go with it. If we were going out to the PvP sections where the enemies are even tougher, I think, don't know, or if we were fighting other players, we'd probably go with a heavier suit and sacrifice some of that dash just for being able to stay alive, but is what it is. So the other things that we do is we are running a Mark 6 power pack. Yep, Mark 6. We go full power because stamina and shields are your lifeblood when you're taking on these tougher enemies, more so than your health. Once you start taking damage to your health, that means that you've done things wrong. Your shield and your stamina are your first and second defenses, and then your health is your third and final. We would like to change this Holtzman shield to a Mark 6. I may go do that now, so we'll get that done. We are still running our Regis weapons, the same ones that we use in Haga. I do have some better weapons that I probably should be using, but I don't want to risk them. So, like I said, don't go to the deep desert and risk anything if you're not willing to lose it, and in this case, I'm not. We do not need a construction tool at all, so we are going to replace that with a better health kit. I have some Mark IVs and Mark VIs. I go with the Mark IIs because I go quantity over quality. This one still does a pretty decent amount of healing. As you see, you can get instant health is 25, whereas this one's 35. Total, you get 50. Here you get 70. So it gives you extra health. I use the little toilet paper rolls for real quick, like oh crap, oh crap, oh crap moments, or when I just need a little bit of health to kind of finish the bar off. We will get to a place that's relatively safe in order to use the larger ones. I do have some 4s and 6s, like I said, but we're pretty much going to rely on the 2s. We are going to drop our welding tool and pick up our vehicle storage tool. Hi, kitty. I need you to get down, though. Okay, thanks. Because we store the vehicle so we don't leave it sitting out where it could potentially get destroyed by storms or messed with by other people. So it's better to just store it. Also, got some respawn beacons because if things go badly, then you're all the way back where you came in or at your base if you have one. So we bring the respawn beacon. I've also switched out my dual small water to a much larger one. Just because I don't know if I'm going to be near water sources. Whereas running around Hago, we definitely can. So yeah, that's us. And of course, we're going to be taking our Mark 6 stuff out just for the extra speed and for the extra durability. What am I saying? Mostly for the speed, man. I love that speed thing. So let me see here. I think my Mark 6 would be in here. Good God. It's been so long since I've actually had to make a shield. I don't even know where they come from. So I don't know if I don't know it. Let's see. Let's see if I don't know it. There's the shields. Looks like Mark 5 is the best that we can do. So is that what we're carrying? Yeah. All right. Well, it is what it is. So we got a Mark 6. A little bit of wear and tear in these units, but they'll be okay. I'm not going to fault you if you want to carry an extra shield. I like to carry extra suspensor belt, not a brand spanking new one, but just that backup. And I also carry an extra Mark 5, just power pack. Again, a damaged one. So if this big boy breaks, I have something that I can use for immediate backups. The only things I need to change is this is down to 6. Need to get that up. Get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Luckily, I have a buttload of those things. We've just been saving them as we collect them. If we didn't, it's not like it's hard to make them. Are they here? No. Are they here? No. Let's see, downstairs, I guess. Ah, it's warm in here. Oi. Found them. So we're gonna bring 20 over, and oh, easy, buddy. They're not used to an earlier stream time. Okay, so I brought this over to make 20. I'm gonna put that 6 back in the box, and we're gonna bring an extra 20 along with us just for safety. Just for safety. So let's put you back. And in this case, we should be pretty good. The only thing I want to do is refill the water up a little bit. We'll probably stop off at our base before we head out to the testing station so that we can drop off all this extra stuff that we're not carrying. But we are good to go. Once you get some of the higher up schematics, you kind of get to a position where there's the water. The higher end gear, because there's the durabilities and the breakdowns, in order to repair them, you need the higher end materials. And that's why we have to do this. Because we ain't got no plastanium dust, so we can't fix our broken stuffs. Okay, so under normal circumstances, anytime I get into a vehicle, I would make sure that right here there are some fuel cells. But this is not normal circumstances because you can't have anything in the inventory when you use your storage vehicle or your storage gun for your vehicle. So it's got to be empty. So we have to keep it empty, which means we got to carry the fuel cells ourselves. I should have some in this box right here. I do. We'll grab 2. That should be fine. Actually, it's going to depend. If it's full, we'll be all right with 2. If she's not, that. Also want to point out that we did stick something else on here. We added a scanner. We had a broken old scanner, nothing too fancy. And we put that on there because you could scan for resources and for buried treasure, which is something we did not do at all, really. Never really went after buried treasure. I'm going to replace this real quick because we're going to do a quick scan of our vehicle and make sure. Now this thing, like I said, was pretty damaged, so it's got some owies, but it serves its purpose. And like I said, we're not going to be carrying our welding torch around. We'll have it with us, but it won't be equipped. So we're going to make sure that we are as repaired as we can be before we head off. There we go. So everything's fixed. Oh wait, did we get the tail? Tail's not even hurt. Okay. There we go. I want to grab one more thing and notice that my welding wire's down to like 128. That's kind of low. So we got welding wire in here. I tell you what, we'll bring over the 194. That should be enough. Like I said, we're not going to get too crazy. That's just in case we run into some accidental damages. Want to make sure we hit enter so that way we've got the spawn point. We're good on fuel. Let's get out of here. And there's a sandstorm coming. I think that's going away from us. Yeah, we're putting distance, so it'll be fine. So from our new base location, straight like northwest is the easiest way for us to get off the map. As I've gotten more materials, more options have opened up for me. So I really need to start using this Mark 6 equipment much better. I love it. It's so fast. It's so snappy. Alright. Get right about here and we'll take her out of Vulture so that way we don't crash. Thank you. And we're off. So I would love to initially go in and give you the tour of the base, but we're going to go straight to the testing station. The reason we're doing that is because those chests are on timers. And what we want to do, what we want to do is get that timer started as quick as possible. So we'll go out, we'll do the testing station. I'll walk through how we do that. And then we'll go take a look at our base and confirm. Okay, so once we hit the ground, we'll bring up the map, and I built in that, as you saw, that third section that we enter, because the testing station that we're looking for is right here. So that was as close as I felt like I could get, and we're off. Somebody built a neat little base right here. That's clever. The worm statues and everything. So it's kind of nice, like you see here. Our base is only about 15K from, or 1.5K from the start, and it's about 5K to the testing station. So we can cover those distances relatively quick. We built in the exact same area that we always do when we come out here. Right over here to our left. Got mixed feelings when I see like the titanium and the strontium and stuff laying down there, because in all honesty, I don't need it. My gathering of resources is far exceeding the my usage. Yes, technically I could be putting a bunch of this stuff up in the marketplace, generating some money from it. I thought about doing that just because, you know, I see so many times that some of these materials are in the marketplace for exceedingly large amounts, and maybe to put it into players' wheelhouse a little bit better by not making it quite so expensive. Something I thought about doing. I don't know if that's going to ruin the market or maybe make enemies or what. So, this is us right here in this big old outcropping. And we're going to come out of Vulture. And we're looking for that little indent. Come on. That leads to some structures in a doorway. So this is the testing station. And as you can see on the map, it is directly in front of us, right? Yeah. I've already got a respawn beacon up, so in case we go to someplace else, I could put a second one. That's why we're still carrying one. We can take the waypoint off. But anyway, they're usually on these kind of outcroppings like this. Once you get out in the desert, there are some smaller ones that are along the shield wall, but this is what they look like out here. So we are going to land. Sometimes you'll see some thopters around here from other people. Sometimes you don't. For instance, if we're inside here, you're not going to see anything because we're going to collect our vehicle. Once you make sure there's nothing in it, then we hit our button and stored. This is nice because if we die and we have to, let's say our respawn beacon wasn't placed, like we forgot to do it, then we would end up having to spawn all the way at our base here or in the very beginning, and without scanning the vehicle, it would still be sitting here waiting for us. And the chances of us making it here without it, not likely. I would have to respawn back in Haga and bring another ornithopter out to this location and then scan it then once I did. So we're just going to make sure we do it right away. Okay, so we are now going to make sure our shield is on. And for most of this stuff, I like going with the melee weapon. When you shoot a gun, it drops your shield for a moment. And the amount of damage you take in that amount of time that your shield is down until it comes back up is nowhere near the amount of damage that you did when you shot that. So I honestly like going melee with this. We're using the Regis Rapier. If somebody already has a respawn beacon out. And there's a bunch out here. A whole bunch. This one's ours. Right there. Alright, so we're going to come in. Now, the initial start of this one, It's actually like right here. There's usually bad guys here. I don't see them. If you come in and there are no bad guys, it's quite possible that somebody may have just cleared this for you. So we're going to run in. And since that door is green, it's a good indication that somebody's already been here. Somebody's been here recently. It's still to the point where it thinks they cleared it. Yep. All right, well, we'll just go through here. Might still be fighting. Who knows? No, that was the room. So we'll pick this up. Really nothing else down here. Alright, so this is a secondary chest, not the super awesome constellation chest, but just a regular one. Well, this is convenient to come in here to a already completed testing station. So I don't know who did this, but thank you. Made it very easy for us. And then once you come back here, go into these side doors, and this will lead you to the better rooms. Now, you got to be careful when you do this because just because it's empty right now, these bad guys could respawn at any moment, and you could be on the wrong side of a door or right in their midst when they do it, and that would definitely be bad. It's kind of nice to be able to deal with them, you know, as they're meant to be dealt with than to suddenly spawn in behind them. But, let's see. There's the constellation chest, and there's the person. Hey, Gwen. Let's talk to him. Hello.
What's up?
Hey, not much. Did you just clear this?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah, it resets about every 10 minutes.
Really? I thought it was like an hour.
Timed it yesterday.
Nice. Well, I will time it with you then, good sir.
Yeah, the ones in the PvE are like every 10 minutes. The ones in the PvP are... Well, actually, everything's like 10 to 15 minutes now.
We're learning. What's up, angry old gamer? Just saw that. Sorry. So you just wait here for the chest to respawn?
Yeah. I wait for the chest, and after I do that, I go kill everything, and come back and do it again.
Yeah, that works for me.
All right.
Let's do it. Stop. So this is one of the issues that comes up in the PvP sections, which is camping these chests. Now what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go outside, go do other stuff, and then you come back in and you fight your way through, kill everything, and once you kill everything, then you get the access to the room. Come in here and you open this chest. This is your reward for doing it. So what people have found out is you can sit here and just wait for this, and this chest will respawn even if you're standing here. The thing about it is, it's one of those things where does it matter PvP versus PvE? The reason I say that is Gwen here just cleared that whole area, and now I came in here and he's standing here. And, you know, he seemed pretty cool. If this was a PvP section, there is a good chance we'd be duking it out right now. And people will respawn in this room, or they'll die in this room, so that when they respawn, they're right in front of the chest, and they'll get it. in the hopes of getting it before people who are actually clearing it for the first time can run in here and get it, because all those enemies are going to respawn too. And that's it's pretty terrible. What they'll do is they'll respawn in this room, open the chest, and then they just log out. I think it just respawned, actually. Yeah. Where in the PvP sections, at least now, the next patch is supposed to be changing that. It's going to be where instead of everybody getting screwed over and only certain people... Oh, he's fighting. I'm coming, friend. I'm sorry. Everybody gets the loot. This takes a little while. There we go. These guys have your standard amount of loot. The only thing that's worth it for me is some of the weapon parts, and then I take the heavy darts too. I could still technically get into those, but yeah. I think he's down this way, fighting all these guys. Usually there's some big chain gun dude. Uh-oh. Like I said, your shield is everything, and my shield went down. Let's go ahead and get some health up real quick. We'll do a full one. Letting our shield get back. Now, you can engage these guys at range somewhat. Oh, come on, guys. Trying to talk here. This will keep them from shooting at us all that much. But we can't shoot them back. And as you can see there, my shield dropped because I was shooting and I took some health damage. So, it's so much nicer to stab them. Now that there's not 3 of them and I'm not standing right in front of them, I should be able to just back this wench into the corner. There, she's dead now. And it's these two. And we'll do a series of heavy attacks, and now this guy's just nothing. Of course, my stamina is very low. So we're gonna zip away for just a second, and we'll open up this chest. And we're going to give him some time. Oh, he threw a grenade at us. He should not be able to drop my shield. So, we'll just stab him a whole bunch of times, get him into a corner, and dead. Access granted. Sweet. So, it looks like I can't pick that up because it thinks I already have it. These chests here will be full of some decent stuff. Not the best, not the worst, but some decent things. So we'll head back. See if Gwen is still there. Hope he doesn't mind being on the old YouTube. So that's somebody else. That's not Gwen. Let's go check those other chests. Excuse me. Alright, so we're already full up on can get new things. And into walls, man. Yeah, we'll take that. Oh, sorry. We'll take that because that at least helps us replace some of the owies that we got going on now. Nope. Okay. Alright, so we come in here, and now we can just kind of stand here and wait. Now you'll notice that that chest doesn't have the constellation, the star map on top of it, and that's how we knew that, yeah, that'll work. That's how we knew that it was an issue before. So now we're just going to heal up. We'll drink some water, which is critically important here because this is what keeps your stamina all the way up. And we might as well come over here and take a look at our inventory and see if there's any junk in here that we don't want, because I don't like being 35 out of 35. So we got a couple power harnesses. Unfortunately, we already had them. We're up to 12 now. That's kind of decent. I think we'll drop this just because it's already half damaged. And we have I think a Mark. Oh, yeah, I think we have a Mark 5. But I don't think we really need to have that. We get tons of these. Holy crap, do we ever get tons of these things. Thermo-responsive array amplifiers and overclock power regulators are good. I don't know that we really need this. In fact, no, we have a Mark 6 buggy. We do have a Mark 5. That's what's down at the monastery base, but it's not in the best of shape. I mean, it's got some damage on it, but not a whole lot. We should probably keep that. Oh, we're getting full up on stuff already. That's the pain of not going to the base first thing to drop off some stuff. So we don't have that much space left over. Wonder if that's still Gwen. And it just changed. Dune player character, CP. Yeah, I think that is. I don't know why he's a different name for us now, but hey, whatever. Oh my gosh. I could camp out. There you go. So this is easily soloable. And it's not real bad. There's only those few enemies. Sometimes there's a chain gunner guy. But not always. I did one of these last week right before Coriolis Storm took over everything, and it was the one where it was multiple waves. And I ended up getting to the final wave solo, and then they finally killed me. And by then I had run out of supplies. I wasn't fully prepared. I was hoping it was a situation like this. I didn't realize the one I was going to was wave after wave after wave of enemies. And we ended up having to bail on that one, which was sad, but it happens. You know, sometimes I've noticed this in a lot of different games, that sometimes if you're outmatched, it's best to just say, this isn't set up properly for me, and to back out, come at it in a different direction. The issue I had was I was in a still suit. I wasn't wearing heavy armor or scout armor, so still suit defenses, which weren't good. And as the enemies continued to get more and more, it got a little harder to deal with them. And I found myself running out of stamina very quickly. When it was just one melee guy and a couple regular shooter guys and one chain gunner, it was pretty easy. Excuse me, to use the room, maneuver around, things like that. When it progresses more of them come at you. And by the fifth wave, there was like 4 melee guys at once, and I couldn't separate them out. And the only ways that I could separate them, I had enough time to maybe get one parry, one deflect, and a stab, and then I'd have to run, and then it just got too much. And then I made one mistake and got myself cornered, and two of them were right behind me, and they just started whacking on me, and I couldn't get around them or maneuver on them. And the other two guys came up and did their little lunging dives, and bullets were flying, and finally I was just like, dude, I would need to have actual armor in order to make this happen. So we ended up bailing on that one. But yeah, we were wondering what this was going to be like, and I didn't know if there was going to be anybody else in it, which I was hoping when I first came here yesterday. I was like, oh, maybe there'll be somebody here. And they weren't. So I was like, well, I guess we'll see if we can do this by ourselves. And we could, with the setup you see here. The issue also, though, is I need plastanium dust, the spicy dust, which comes out of this chest, but it's only coming like 6 or 8 at a time. That's no bueno. It doesn't help us. That doesn't give us the quantities we need. We're going to have to be here a lot. Now, if we were to go out in the PvP section, you can get 30, 40, 60, 70. Whereas this chest is only going to give you single digits. So there is the possibility of being able to do that. Now, I could just stand in here, and as you can see, it's respawned. Another power harness. So don't need that. This one only has 3. It's a shame. So yeah, the amounts are not big drops, but it's unfortunate, but this is all I can do, you know, by myself. Yes, I am part of a guild, and there's a whole bunch of people in it, but they have actually moved to another server. They wanted to get into a little more action, and they made the move to Harmony, which is one of the other sietches, or one of the other servers. So they're all over there now. They still, you know, you have to do that. You have to start over. So they had to start all their characters over. They still do have characters here, and I'm sure if I asked them and was like, "Hey guys, can we like do a night back in the old stomping ground here and help me get some plastanium dust?" Oh, they would. I do have some other friends who I said, "Hey, you know, if you guys are gonna run." If you guys are going to run any of these stations, let me know. I'd love to join you. And they were like, sure, we'll let you know if we're going to do it. So we'll see. We're going to do something else now, though. We are going to... weight's really not the problem right now. It's spaces. Put that over there. So yeah, we got 15 for about 30 minutes worth of work. It's not bad. I guess I shouldn't be complaining. Gonna, but I shouldn't be. It's pretty much all the... Yeah, I guess that'll work. That'll work for now. So another thing I want to talk about is that little C indicator down at the bottom. And what that does... that does a scan. Now you'll notice all these little dots that are over here. These indicate resources. So over there, there'll be some power cells, some scrap metal, maybe some titanium, things like that. What we're actually looking for, though, is, if you see right here, directly in front of me, there's a little dot. And this, I think, is on the other side. Yeah, it's on the other side. Right there. And now it pops up, but it says nothing. And you're like, oh my gosh, what's that? Sorry. So if you pull out, oops, sorry. You pull out a compactor and hit it in that general area, which apparently I have forgotten. That's right in front of me. There you go. See, it says a buried treasure. So we're going to shoot it. And up pops the box. And we'll look in it. There's a little bit of money. And some other stuff. And apparently these things show up quite often. That's picking up all the stuff that's underneath. There's one. This is dangerous because worms are possibilities. You can see I've got a worm indicator, but to be honest, you're going to come up here and you're just going to grab this stuff and you're going to go. So it's really not that dangerous. Okay, well, all of this stuff we can't grab because we are full up on dumb things. Guess we'll drop the 9 because we don't need that. Improved Holtzmans would be good. Advanced machinery is good. This one was actually a pretty good box. We got to be careful. I'm standing here like a idiot. Let's tap this. Took 2 things off, so gave us a little bit of space. Yeah, we definitely want to grab those. Advanced Servox, I'm all right on. I'm pretty sure we're good on that too. Buyers. Yeah, I don't have any of them in. A house. Garda. Alright, so we're pretty full. So we will not be doing any more of those. We have to go to our base that we have built, drop off a bunch of stuff, and then we'll come out and do some pirate treasure hunting. This was something I never did before. In fact, I was pulling a spice field, and all of a sudden one of those boxes appeared, and I was like, dude, what the heck is that? I thought somebody may have dropped it or something happened. I didn't even realize there was a buried treasure node. The higher up you are, the less you'll be able to see. So you do have to get pretty close to the ground. And you can find these in Haga Basin as well. And I've actually heard tell some people have found like full vehicles, like all the parts for an ornithopter or a buggy. I don't know if it's reflective of where you found it. Like if you go further out into the deep desert, there would be better things. I guess we could go all the way out to the back wall and test it out. Let's do it. We're going to do it. We're supposed to be out here getting spicy plastanium dust. Go treasure hunting. Here's my base. Looks very similar to the one I had before. Slight changes. We don't quite have as much water or electricity production. Simply because we really don't need it. So we're pretty Spartan out here. Oh my gosh. And now my dog's crying. What's the matter with you? Okay, so I got a box here. This is all the stuff that I've pulled out of the runs I've done so far. As you can see, we got 14. This was the result of 2, maybe 3, I think. Now this is 2, because we got 8 and 6. Super excited about the soft step boots that we got. Like I said, I already got a power harness. So not sure if we're going to keep any of those schematics if we get them. We may just drop them on the ground. But yeah, so let's just dump all of this stuff in here. And we'll go to the Thopter. I've kind of done, this is treasure hunting and also the testing station. So I really haven't kept those separate, just so we know. Or maybe I did and I just screwed everything up. What do I have in here? Good. Yeah, no, I didn't. And those are supply boxes. So yeah, we didn't keep it separate, so that's fine. But you know what? We'll see what we can collect over time here. Like I said, I've got 2 power harnesses now. I've got 3 power harnesses now. Got a Mark V tread. Sand bike engine. Don't know if I need that. Might trash it. Don't know. Buggy PSU for a Mark V. That'll kind of come in handy. She's a little bit damaged though. But yeah, this was why we came out here, and this is what we've been getting. So, but let's go ahead and I don't know why we're carrying that. Yep, water capacity is good. We'll fill the containers. We'll take ourselves a drink. And off we go. So what we're going to do, let's put this back on. And we shall fill up. And we're just going to head straight north and go all the way out. And yes, it's dangerous, because we will be going out into the PvP world, but sometimes you have to be dangerous. We'll stay away from the big spice blooms and the other testing stations and stuff. Don't know exactly where they are, so it might be harder to stay away from them than I thought. So the boxes you saw me open were pretty much what I've gotten from them. The little buried caches. So it'll be interesting that once we do cross over into the PvP area, we'll drop down to sand level, we'll do some scans, and we'll see what we can find. Now, a couple things we have to take into consideration. One, we are not wearing a still suit, so we can't hang out in the water too much. We can't have a shield on, because that'll draw a worm, and that would be bad for us. My advice to you on that, anytime you're out there, if you do get jumped or get attacked, just put your shield on. Don't worry about it. It's too late now. You got other things to worry about. Hey, look, Spice Bloom. I think that was a small. It's out there, too. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to fly over it. Because anybody out here within a certain radius saw that, just like I did. So we're going to fly over it and mark it on the map. And once we mark it on the map, we'll go out, do our little runs out in the deep desert here and see what we can find as far as buried items, if they're any better or worth the risk. And then we'll head on our way back. If we come back and that spice bloom is still there, that is a good sign, because that means nobody's seen it. Now, somebody flying overhead would see it or us, but that would require them actively searching instead of, oh look, there was a spice bloom off in the distance. Still haven't quite seen it yet though. Oh man, where you at? There it is. Alright, so we're going to fly directly over top of it, and this is pretty much it now. So we'll put a marker so we can come find it later, and we'll see what happens. Make sure we don't have a tail. Looks like we are definitely alone out here, or at least within a certain radius. So we're in G. There's still H and I left. H and I. Once we get to I sector, we'll drop down and start scanning, seeing if we find anything worth grabbing. Spice field over there. Show is. Big ass medium field, man. We'll mark that one. It should be right about in there. So we just lost our. Oh my! We just lost our small field, but it's all right. Okay, so this is what a large field looks like. This one currently is not active. The issue with that is you don't really want to be hanging around any of the major spice fields, because somebody who's scouting out something to do, that's a great place to look. Is that also puts that medium field a little too close for comfort. Another thing is, like over here where these rocks are, that's where people could go for resources. So when I look over here and I see very few resources, this is an area that potentially could be get left alone. Let's pick up some speed here. Just looking to see if there's anybody. Alright, so this is I sector, which means we are getting close to hitting the end of the map. So we're going to drop down. We're going to do some scans and see if we can find anything. Alright, so we are 100% on the wall here. Can't get any farther north. Don't see anything. So we're going to stay low in the dunes. And we're also not going to vulture, because vulturing makes it a little difficult moving as fast as we are to see any potential dots that might be showing up on the map. Got one. Alright, got two. Alright. Looks like we are, for the most part, left alone, but you can never fully know, can you? Alright, let's tag this. Oh, we got a bunch right here. Okay, well, here we are. Out in the deep desert. Potentially getting killed. What do we got? Well, the materials are somewhat better. Couple strontium fibers, some plastanium nuggets. Not the most exciting stuff in the world, but it was definitely new, right? Come on, man. We got some compressors. That's cool. So there's definitely better items. They're not like the greatest though. Not for being out here in a situation where I could potentially get myself killed, you know? Also, I don't need to be using a super awesome... That's enough of that, isn't it? We're already full. I hate doing this. Alright, so just the flour sand was kicking us up. That, unfortunately, did not take us long to get full, did it? Look at that. And it's not the greatest list of things. Should have dropped all this stuff off. Okay, well. But yeah, like I was saying, you don't need to have like the super awesome bestest greatest compactor to get those things. There is a definite improvement heading out there, but coming all the way out here just to chase them down, I was not super awesome impressed with what was in there. There was some good stuff, don't get me wrong. But the question is whether or not it was good enough to warrant risking myself in PvP sections. We are going to make a slight change to our setup here. We're going to pop these guys on. Still going to remain armored. We're going to take another flyby at this medium field and see what's happening. If we can get some spice out of it, so be it. Is that more? Nah, I can't beat more. Yeah, it is. That's another spice bloom. Whether that's a small or a medium, I don't know. And neither of these looks like they've been touched by anyone. This might be a small. What was I talking about? Yes. No, this is... Oh, I'm so confused. Okay, well, I don't see anybody, and I haven't heard anybody. So we're going to drop down here. We're going to do our thing. Now, again, we use the Thopter as a shield. And we keep our eyes on the skies and keep our ears open. Most of the time, when bad guys come in, they're going to come in vultured. Okay. So you're not going to hear them. But we're listening for the sound of a person coming down or shields being used or something. Anything. Any noise that we can detect. Like that hawk that just screamed. Just being safe. Just being safe. I have not seen a single thing said in the Deep Desert chat. So I don't honestly know if there's anybody out here or not. And again, I don't really know that much. This is, you know, this is when I would normally just be getting on. Which is weird because I should see some people. Always have in the past. Come on, man. This is nice to get this. I hate doing these things when they just show up because they got that constant plume going on. Makes it real hard to see. Gotta admit, I'm kind of paying more attention to this area. It doesn't mean they aren't coming from behind, you know? You'll notice that I'm harvesting a bit and then we'll go airborne. The reason we're doing that is we're resetting the worm. I don't need them to get all aggroed at me and upset. So, because that'll give me away. If I was flying out here and I saw a worm suddenly pop up, my immediate assumption is there's someone around. They do go after crashed ships, so sometimes that'll be the reason for a breach, but one of the best reasons for a breach is some dingleberry like me doing what I'm doing. So we'll just give it a second. I'm going to actually do the 4-shot. Getting cocky. Because that's usually when bad things happen, right? So I've actually come out here and I have gone into like some of the larger spice fields when there weren't people with carriers and stuff on it, and me and a bunch of other people were just compacting away as happy as we could possibly be. And there was no shots fired and everyone got along and we're all just out there gathering spice, just having fun. And at least on my server now, we've gotten a couple people who they really like just flying around here and looking for people like me, harvesting spice with our heads down, so they can come in and kill them and blow up their ornithopter. They usually use like a las gun or something and melt it a couple times, or they'll throw a thumper down and let the worm eat it, so that way you lost it. The reason they do that is just because that's what they think is fun, is ruining somebody's day or causing them problems. I don't get it. I've always said, you know, play however you want to, but honestly, if your sole purpose in playing is to just ruin other people's day, that doesn't make sense to me. Fighting each other, I can totally get that. I can totally see that. Playing Destiny, I used to love the Crucible. But the thing about the Crucible was we were all, you know, we were all in the Crucible. We knew why we were there. We were there to fight each other. And this isn't the case. So the newest patch, though, that they're coming out with, apparently the one that is being tested right now, is going to have a much longer render for ornithopters. So we'll be able to see bad guys coming from almost 2 kilometers, is what they were saying, which is forever. And that will keep people from being able to do the fall out of the sky ambushes. Because right now, somebody could come in and I could actually be in range of rockets before I can even see them. That will not be the case going forward. We pulled quite a bit out of this medium field. Water's looking all right. We're at about half. We also have to be careful because going up here, we are resetting the worm, but we're also making ourselves visible. How we doing here? It's almost completely full. No. We're going to go down until the world tells us to stop, right? Try not to talk as much because the more I'm talking, the less I'm listening. We're getting real close here. As I break my own rules and stare. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yep, storage is full. Alright, that's good enough, right? It looks like nobody cared. So we did pretty good there. We got quite a bit, probably a good quarter of that field. Uninterrupted. I'll take it. Alright, so we're going to get up to altitude, and then we're going to vulture and coast our way back home. So I haven't quite decided what we're doing with our deep desert base out here. The reason I say that is right now, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of water production. I got the 2 fans on top, and I got a couple large cisterns. I went ahead and built those this time. A couple smaller ones here and there. But yeah, only like 300,000 or something like that of water. And I put the units on the roofs, and put the units on the roof, and then just let them do their thing. And didn't really pull from them too hard. Currently in my base, I've got a medium spice refinery. I did not build the big, large one. Not going to. The small one will be fine, and anything else I can just transport back to Haga if it's that big of a deal. In fact, I may not do a whole lot of spice refining, although it's easier to take melange back than it is spice sand. So here's that little one that we saw when we first came out here. So that's what I have right now, but I have the materials on site if I want to destroy that spice refinery and go to refining some ores. So I can do that. And honestly, because there's no loss, I can just bounce between the two, and maybe we'll throw up the ore refinery and we'll start processing some ores, or we will stay with the spice and keep making spice. Pretty much options. Like I said, I was mainly coming out here for the plastinium, spicy plastinium dust. But we got to do something else too. I don't think we're going to do that much treasure hunting because it really wasn't worth it. I was reading a forum post where people were asking, what's the best thing you got? Some guys are like, I got a complete buggy. And another one was like, yeah, I got a whole ornithopter once. And most of the people were like, yeah, I didn't get anything like that. I think so far I'm in that group. But there we go. We'll come back here and breathe a little bit easier. One thing that I've seen people say this, and I think this is valid. Um, you should be able to harvest flower sand with the sand crawler. Especially since they took away the locations that are super safe, or like the ones that you didn't have to worry about worms coming. Now it's just as dangerous as getting spice. You should be able to do it with the sand crawler. That would give it something to do. I don't have one, so it doesn't matter. But if I build one, the only thing I can do is bring it out here by myself. Yeah. So one thing I am wondering is I have been watching the plastanium dust totals that I'm getting coming out of this progressively getting smaller. The first time I did it, I got 8. Second time I did it, I got 6. 2 times there in a row, we got 6, and then finally I got 3. We keep dwindling down. It's not a good sign. I'm hoping it's just off. We'll go drop this off and then go back to that station and run that station again. I'm interested to see if it's 3 or if it's more. Definitely going to have to climb at some point, aren't we? We have a tiny little bit of spice in the one big box. That was from, believe it or not, the little secret treasure boxes, little hidden boxes. Buried treasure thing. Hey, one thing we do have to do, we got to check some supplies here, because it is quite possible that we are not remotely prepared to last. There's a very good chance that we are built solely for, a couple days. That we'll put someplace else. Okay. Maybe it's a good thing we came back here. For one pit stop on the way out, that's not bad totals, man. Not bad at all. Let's see. How long do you have? Hopefully a day, right? Yeah, a day and 19. Okay, so that's not bad, and we filled everybody at the same time, so they should all be... Okay, so we don't have to do that today. Okay, good. Good. You know what we do have to do, though? We have to check these guys. Oh, they got 5 days? Crap, man. Golden. They're going to make a big change, which I think is great, is for this guy. So, take a look at this, right? So, this is my filters. I've got 4 days worth of operation on my filters. Once this storage water fills up like it has, then it just keeps running. And it keeps burning that filter even though the water's not going anywhere. You can stop that by turning it off. I just got to remember to turn it on again, otherwise water's not going to be built. The way they're going to do this now is once your water gets up to full, these things are going to automatically disable themselves, meaning that they aren't going to use these filters anymore. So, it'll stop running like it does normally, but then this won't go down anymore, your amount of time that you have. once you use some of the water in your storage and create a spaceport to go, they'll turn back on and start using their filters again. So it's kind of nice. These things always run no matter what. So let's drink some water. No, I didn't want to hit that. We'll go ahead and fill up. Fill up. That all's good? Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have to pull the fuel cells over. Let's refill just in case. What are you doing? Can't do that. Alright, well, we'll just do this. I don't think it's gonna use the whole cell. Yeah, it didn't. That's fine. No, that's not good for that scanner, is it? Alright, so we lost... Oops, sorry. We lost our indicator for the station, but to be honest with you, it's not that hard. It's right here. I've got just enough power on that little base there to run either of the machines. So if I were to put an ore refinery in there, I could run it. I think we're going to call it an hour and a half tonight. Like I said, I got something I got to do. So we have that. That's why I started the extra hour early. And then I actually have a trip coming up. So I will not be on Saturday. I'm not sure if we're going to do a Friday stream to make up for it. And I don't know if I could... I don't think I can do a Sunday. So we will not be on Saturday. Just a warning. Just a heads up. I'll post that up on the channel as well. Yep, we're going on a little bit of a road trip. The heck was that? I think it's so freaking dark. It's been night for a little while here. I wonder if our friend is still here. Ooh, we did that one a little high up, didn't we? Alright, so, like I said, we gotta remember. Oh, come on. We do that. This and that. And in we go. Boop, 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 boop. I'm really interested to see how much spicy dust we get. I'm hoping it's not 3 or 2 or 1 or something. If it knows that I'm farming this stuff. It shouldn't. I didn't even think they changed. I'm surprised it went down to 3. I thought it was supposed to be 6 to 8 no matter what, but apparently I was wrong. Alright, so here are some bad guys here. We're going to actually, like I said, it's odd to take them at range, but you know what? Oh my gosh. I can outshoot them. And they seem to stand there and just tank it. We have a friend. That changes everything. Oh, he's last gunning them. It's Cody. I know Cody. Well, I don't know Cody. He's not like a friend of mine. Teamwork. That was kind of dangerous, though. I don't know how that works. I know las guns and shields don't mix, but I don't think hitting my shield would have counted for him. Hi, Cody. All right. Weird, isn't it? We have definitely been gone long enough. I wonder if because we didn't pull that power harness out, it didn't recognize it. We might have just learned something, guys. Alright, so we might hang out here just for this little bit, and we'll see if, we'll see what we get when it respawns. A lot of that stuff we're not going to keep. Sounds like Cody just took off. He's like, psh, I did what I wanted to. Now I'm done. That is a shame. I cannot believe that thing stayed there because I left that stupid harness in there. Alright, so we're just going to hang out, let that thing respawn, and we'll see what's in there. Hopefully it's not 3, and then that's probably going to call it for the night. Oh my goodness. It's really hot in here. Like, for real in here. Not campfire sitting there. Looks like they're burning bricks. Like, yeah, I know there's some sticks in there, but... Fremen bricks. That water always empty, too. Why are there so many campfires around this place? Aren't that many guys out there? Yeah, why not? It'll get us to 20. So apparently you got to take everything out, even if you end up dropping something on the ground. But this is a hard living. Just because your actions don't result in that much of a payoff. And going out to the PvP sections, like I said, would grant me a lot more, but it's not something that I feel comfortable doing on my own. Just because the enemies can be overwhelming, and it's PvP, so like I said, some of the bad actors on my servers will just sit and wait in these rooms like this in the PvP sector and just wait for you to come running in, kill you, because they know that this is where you're coming from, and they're just waiting for the chest to respawn. Well, I was going to say I don't want to be the guy to put ideas in people's heads, but the fact that they're making this a separate instance for everybody, so that way, because I've done some of the PvP ones, and whatever's in the chest is for the group. Whoever's there, everybody can take it. So, you don't get everything unless you pre-organize with your group who gets what. But somebody in the group or somebody who's not in the group could take the whole thing and just take off running. There's not much you could do about it. And if people are killable and lootable, and each thing is our own instance, that means that I could get my stuff and then kill my friend or my companion or rando that comes running in after they pick up the chest and then get all their stuff too. So it's almost like double dipping off the chest. I'm not completely sure about the whole thing. Like I said, I don't want to put ideas in people's heads, but if the people that would do that have already thought about it. So it's not like I'm the source of evil here. This also kind of messes up the idea since I'm just hanging out and not clearing this thing like I'm supposed to. So I'm not sure what's going to be in this chest. I will tell you one thing though. I'm going to hit one of my skills. I do not need this many power harnesses. So we're going to drop that. Well, pretty good tread. Bad power pack either. I still did not drop off the still suit. Come on. Guess when you look at it, technically this isn't being a douchebag because when I came through, I fought my way through everything. Well, Cody helped. But, there's nothing in this chest except the power harness I left the last time. So I did kind of get gypped. So now we're just breaking even. The other time I stood here with Gwen, that was cheesy. Don't normally support this kind of activity, but it's science. We're running an experiment right now. This thing needs to hurry up. It's 6:30. Okay, somebody's landing. And it works. Alright, let's see what we got in here. 10. Okay, so that's awesome. Still under power harness. But I'm also going to make sure I empty that completely just so I don't have to worry about it next time. So look at that. We got more than we ever did. I guess theoretically. I don't care about these guys. I didn't get to see his name. But anyway. So yeah, we got more than we ever did. So that's cool. I guess it's just totally random. But this will be the next couple days. This is what we're going to be doing. If the group that I talked to earlier does decide to go out after some of the PvP ones, then I'll be like, cool guys, I'll come with you. That'll be awesome. And they said they were cool with that. So not quite interested in doing it myself. Not quite interested in hitting escape. But we are going to get ourselves back to safety, and then that is going to be it for tonight. So we got about 3,000 spice sand, which we can refine here. Or I could shuttle back. Doesn't matter. This was my main source for aluminum, but I don't know how much I need. Main source for aluminum, I mean the deep desert. It's where I was coming for all my aluminum now. But then when we moved our base, we're actually not too far off from prime aluminum territory, so No, it is what it is. And as it stands, I don't need any more plastanium. I will to build the sand crawler. We're not there yet, but I have enough to build it right now. So anything I did would be just replacing what I use. Our home base is pretty well built. Monastery doesn't need to be any bigger than it is. So we are running out of things to do. That's the best way to put it. I still do have some DLC stuff to do. So that is on the horizon. But I don't know, guys. Hopefully between this and Battlefield 6 coming out, hopefully we'll have enough to entertain ourselves with. But yeah, we're getting towards the end of our Dune journey here, unless we get some more content or we start making some local friends that we can start sharing our resources with in a way that doesn't ruin the entire experience for them as well. If my guild's not going to come back from Harmony from time to time, I may have to find a new group that still stayed here. Don't know. Maybe go solo again. Maybe start my own. I don't know. We're just going to leave everything the way it is right now because we're content. I got no ill feelings towards anybody, and do what you want to do. Play how you want to play. But, all right. Well, we're calling it here, guys, because I got stuff I got to do in real life. So, thank you for tuning in. Angry Old Gamer, thank you for the chatting. And Cody and Gwen, it's awesome doing that stuff with you. You don't even know that you're that I'm saying that to you, but I did appreciate it. So, like I said, we'll not be on Saturday, so you may not see me until Monday. I don't know, maybe I'll surprise you. But as always, I will see you out there. So take care, guys.